All right, we're here for another black belt class today. Sensei Matt here, ready to teach you and to cover some of the things that we've been working on recently in our curriculum. We're going to cover some work on our bow kata, specifically bow one for right now, Tokumine no Kun, and we're going to work on Shinto kata, then some work on the Kali stick. So we'll be doing some of that today. Remember to do your exercises on our training plan this month, on your worksheet, your home practice worksheet. You've got an outline of the exercises to do using the hand pad with squats, with push-ups, sit-ups, and burpees using your hand pad. So if you didn't do them before this workout, do them after. Make sure you keep up your own home training, all right? Keep up that fitness. Let's improve those fitness scores. All right, we're gonna get right into working with the bow today. So I want you to grab your bow, and if you can't use a bow, use a short stick. Even a Kali stick can work indoors. But we're just going to work with the bow here. Even if you don't have space to use your bow inside today, watch these points, make some mental notes or some physical notes, and then when you come into the dojo or when you get a chance to practice where there's more room, you can put these things together. We're going to take this kata from the point of the 3 thrusts that are going forward. We did those 3 thrusts in the middle of Tokumine no Kun. We're at our 3rd thrust, and then we turn to the back to make a cat stance. So we're pointing the bow straight down the line. The right hand is bent a little bit this way. It's cocked in. The idea is that your opponent is expecting this strike coming in. So when your foot comes down and you step in, they're going up to block, and you're stomping and then doing a side strike. So that'll be like this, the stomp and then the side strike. Now the next move is looking to the front again and spinning around and going down on your knee. And that's a low strike aiming at the opponent's knee, and then a reverse strike as you stand up. Next move, down block, overhead, up and down, side to side. Remember to go all the way to one side of the body, all the way to the other side of the body. Next, you get ready for your snap strike. Slide forward in horse stance, and then bring feet back together to make that circle block. So this is the time we're doing that circle block, but our feet come back at the same time. So let's just do that section once more. I'm at my 3rd thrust. I look, and I change to a cat stance. Then I step my foot down, and I go in with a side strike, rib level on the side strike. Turn your head, spin around so you're striking knee, and then head. That's a reverse strike. Now when you stand up, make sure your feet get into that long stance position. Front leg bent, back leg straight, down block, and let's do our series. Overhead, up under the chin, down on the head again, coming to the side, other side, slide in for the snap strike, and feet back together. All right, from here, it's a back step. You step back with your right leg and block out sideways with the bow. This arm should be about shoulder height, 90-degree bend in the elbow, blocking across, and the right hand is at your side. Now here's the flip of the bow, where you extend the bow over and then down. So it comes in front of you in this position. And make sure the back of the bow catches on your arm right here, and of course you catch your hand at the same time. And the next move, and I'll do this to the front in a minute, but you can see it easier from the side, is to catch the back of the bow with your left hand and duck your head down. So don't raise the bow up to get there, but from your horse stance, your bow is about temple level. You lower your head, then bring the bow around to your shoulder and get ready for the forward swinging strike. So here we are with the back move and then the flip of the bow over. And it's again about temple height. Catch the back end of the bow, duck your head down, and the bow comes over your head. Bring it to your shoulder. And now the point here to get a good swing strike is to make sure you step first and then swing the bow. If you try to move them at the same time, it's a little hard to focus that strike. So get the step first and the swing next. That's a long stance on that strike. Next move, sliding the bow in your hands, so you're holding it in thirds, change from your long stance to a forward seisan stance. Now, that's the head block position. And we drop the front foot back, lift it up, and put it back to a horse stance to hit that reverse strike. Here's the circle. 1, 2, wind it up to your shoulder and look off to the right because you're going to strike to the right side with the reverse strike. Switch the grip, swing the ball around, switch the other hand, and another reverse strike to the front. We're still in horse stance on these moves. 1 circle, 2, wind it up again, and this time striking out to the left. Now the next move is also a left reverse strike, and we look to the back, and we step in with the left foot and go straight to the back with the reverse strike. Now here as we come forward again, switch your left hand. Bring the bow around, switch your right hand. So it's on your shoulder, it's ready to do a reverse strike, but we do have to take a step forward. So our left foot comes forward again here to get our next reverse strike. Now we're right near the end. It's a forward step to a seisan stance. And your right hand just flips over. It was in the reverse strike. It just flips over to your side for a side strike. Come across with 1, 2, and the third one, you're coming across, but you're hitting down slightly on a little bit of a downward angle to deflect your opponent's bow. Now bring your left hand up to your shoulder, bring your feet together, and give your head strike right down on top there to finish. Now circle the bow around, standing at attention, and bow. So I know I'm doing the bow kata, might look to you as mirror image if you're watching it from the front, but just take these points. You're learning the moves. You can watch other videos to see the whole kata, or when you're learning it in class, you'll make sure you're doing it with the correct side. But you can still pick up these points even by watching it this way and make sure you're doing those moves correctly. Let's take it one more time from the swing strike. We got up to here. Now you should have the bow quite extended. Don't leave too much bow left at the end here, but keep it back so your left hand is at the end of the bow, your right hand is extended maybe a foot or so in front. Some people might keep their hands together. I find that's hard to control the focus and aim of the bow if my hands are too close. So I'll give some space in between my hands. There's the extended bow strike. Now, sliding the bow in your hands. Seisan stance, head block. And this is the first seisan stance in the whole kata. There are lots of long stances, horse stances, cat stances, but now we're in our first seisan stance. But we're only there for a moment because we drop back into horse stance and get the reverse strike. Then circle it once, twice, and make the circles about knee level and head level, knee to head, knee to head. Not super big, but not really tiny either. Knee level, head level. On the second one, wind it back, look over to your side, and hit. Switch the hand, come across, and hit to the front again. Circle, knee level, head level, and the second time, winds up to do the reverse strike to the side. Now that same hand comes back again, and look to the back. We're in long stance to the back, the Zen Kutsurachi, with the left foot forward, and hit that reverse strike to the back. Now here, switch this hand again. Switch it. Oh, I hit the ceiling. Whoa. All right, a little tight in this part of the dojo. Here we go. I switch the bow. I come around and step in with the reverse strike here. Now I've got my left foot forward, but my right hand is doing the strike. All right. Now watch this next move from the long stance to a seisan stance. Right foot forward again. And this is the second seisan stance in the kata. There's only 2. Come across 1, 2, and a downward hit for 3, and circle that left hand right up to your ear so your feet can come together for that overhead strike to finish that series. Pull it around and bow from there. Good, and that's the end of the kata. So Tokumina no Kun, typically the first bow kata that students learn, usually before black belt level, but you want to use it as a foundational kata so that your other bow katas can build on that. Bow 2, Arashi bow. Bow 3, Shishi no Kun no Dai, longest bow kata. Those will be coming up more in the black belt curriculum. But make sure your bow one kata, your Tokumin no Nukon, gets sharper and sharper as you progress at black belt level. So whether you're just learning it or sharpening it up, use some of these points to make it your best kata. All right, we're going to move on. I'm going to put the bow to the side. And we're going to get working on Chinto kata. Now, last week we did some moves of Chinto kata up to the jump front kick and the guarding move in the kata after the elbow strike. So we're going to take it from there. So we got to our elbow and we did the guard, and now we come back in the horse stance with the arms coming back. We swing through and then chops. And this one I think we did last week too, with chop to the neck, strike to the body. Hit the collarbones, double knuckle strike down, open hand block, and again keep that elbow down, and then hit. Now remember, the first hit is on the forearm, not the hammer fist. You are making your hand into a hammer fist, but you're not hitting it. You're hitting your forearm. Now this hand that's open against your side of your arm reaches up and grabs, and the other hand comes on top. Now step all the way back, and here's your downward pulling move with your right foot forward, pulling the opponent down. Right hand up, step behind in a crane stance, and do your block. Now remember, this is the down block to the front, normal type of down block, but the left hand, instead of chambering on the hip, now is on your chest. Front snap kick, and set into horse stance with that double knuckle downward strike again. Remember, to get a good double downward strike, start with your palms facing down and then twist them on the way down as you snap. So you got a good snap that way. Now, twist the front foot. Now it has to turn as much as you can, but when you pivot your other leg into it, you're going to have to twist it a bit more. Turn, so you're in a crane stance, back on that 45-degree line. And with your arms crossed here, extend your double headlock. Now step forward with your left leg and bring your left hand to a downward. Excuse me. Now step forward with your right leg and switch both hands. So you're doing a down block and a head block. I'm going to move back a bit for better vision from your camera. Turn the foot in, turn your right foot inward, pivot it in, and now make a complete spin around, left foot forward, down block again, right to that back corner where you were performing the kata on the line. All right, so that's the spinning down block. Here's the next move. Look over your shoulder, come back, cross the arms, and here's the head block, double head block again. Stepping into horse stance, an elbow strike, and then that double knuckle hit down again. One more twist to the front, and here's your next set of double head blocks. And remember, whichever leg is in back, and in this case, my left leg's in back, that left arm's in front, my right arm is slightly to the side. Now, the next move is to set, and that's where you bring your hands back to your side, and you straighten your feet out. And I'm going to angle the camera here for a moment so you can see this. So from this crane stance position, I'm in my head block, I'll bring my hands to my side, and I'll turn my front foot straight. But notice the back foot doesn't change at all. It's still on the ball of the foot, just like it was. So a set move is only with the front leg, and it just straightens your body out, straightens your legs out, so that it's easier to execute a front kick. So from here, just pivot the front foot. That's all. Now you're ready for a front kick. And you set it forward, and then do one more step forward with the punch. So let's get back to the upper view here. All right, so I was at my head block here, and I set to straighten out. And remember, I only moved my front foot. Now, a front kick with the left leg, put it in front, and one more step, and punch in. So that should flow pretty smoothly. From here, from your head block, set, kick, step in, punch. Now the next move, go back with a double hit. So this is a double punch to the sides of the ribs, like a squeezing in punch. This way. Bring your right arm up to your ear, bring your right foot back, down block. So we're doing our down block, and our left hand again is at the chest, not on the belt. Set, so your feet are straight. Remember, only straighten out the front leg. Now, a front kick, set down, and step behind with your left leg. Bring the left arm up, and down block there as well. And again, the right hand's on the chest. Here's the next set move. Turn your body straight, hands on your side. You're on the ball of your left foot because it's ready to kick. Front kick, set it down, and do a left hand, open hand side block. Now the right arm comes up behind you here and hits, and this time it is a hammer fist. So the right hand hits into the palm of the left hand right there. That's the hammer fist strike. Next move is going to be a front kick. Let me again angle the camera because this part of the kata changes height position. After the front kick here, put it forward, kneel down, and extend your right arm, but pull it back as you do a left hand punch about groin level of your opponent to that back corner. So this is from a kneeling position. Your right leg's in front, and you punched in. And remember, after you did that hammer fist, leave your right hand out so that you can pull back as you're getting your left hand to strike. Now stand up, pivot to the front corner again, and finish the kata as normal. So there's a lot of points in that section, and you might need to watch this a few times, maybe practice the kata, watch it again, practice it, watch it again, and work on those details so that you feel comfortable with this ending of Chinto kata. We did about this whole second half of the kata right here. And there's some parts to it that are not the easiest moves to do. Chinto kata, in my opinion, is one of the more difficult Isshin-ryu karate katas. Just the changes of direction, changes of stances, the angle you try to move on, staying low all the time, some of the different hand moves that are in this kata. Well, this definitely makes it a challenge, but it's a great kata for you to develop your body movement, your balance, your different attributes that are great for your martial arts training. So continue to practice Chinto kata. Make it one of your favorites. I like this kata a lot. I think it's exciting to do, challenging to do, and it exemplifies a lot of the very interesting, unique, and difficult moves that sometimes come up in Isshin-ryu karate. So keep working on Chinto kata. All right, but we're going to be moving on, and we're going to go to our Kali stick. We're only going to use one for today, and hold it with a position where you have just an inch or two at the end of the stick open for you. And so you're not holding it all the way at the end, but you have an inch or an inch and a half, 2 inches right there. That sometimes can be used for striking in itself, for hooking or catching on the opponent, things like that. So it gives you some utility as well. Now, a pattern that we're going to be working up to in class is a 3-move pattern. One person does 3 moves, the other one does 3 moves, and then it repeats for the other person to do. It's called Sombrata, and it has 6 counts really all together, because one person does 3, the other person does 3. The attacker who starts will always do an attack first and then a defense, and then an attack and then a defense, and then the other person starts with that attack, defense, attack, and defense. So the pattern repeats. You're not on offense the whole time. You're on offense and then defense. So follow with me. Put your left hand on your chest and do a right hand head strike, and then just bring it across to the side to do a right block with your right hand, but towards your left side, the inside sweep block, where you block the stick and you put your hand towards their hand. So the attack is at the head. Your opponent's going to block that, and you're going to block their counter strike, which is blocking and then touching their hand. This could be used for disarming or striking, other things, but stick touches stick, hand touches hand. Now, use that stick that just blocked. You're going to come under your arm and go right in for a strike to the ribs. So you're aiming for your partner's ribs on that side. All right, so here's the first three moves. Overhead strike, inside sweep block with the hand control, and then low strike. Now, the next move is defending, because your opponent's going to come in and overhead strike to you, blocking. Roof block with pulling the arms apart. Now, strike in the number one strike right after the block. So you did the roof, number one. Now this next block, some of you might not have done before, it's a dropping down, a dropping stick, and it's a deflection. So your stick is going to hit their stick, and your back of your hand is going to hit their hand. That's when they're doing this move to you. And this makes a lot more sense when you do it with a partner. But by watching it right now and trying to follow along, you'll at least get an idea of what the movements are. And then when you do it with a partner, it'll make a lot more sense. So this move, start here at your shoulder, hit down. Hit down with the stick and down with the hand. And keep your hand there, but bring your stick back up. So it's a snapping down move with the stick, and the hand stays there. Hand contact to hand contact on your opponent. Now, from my stick in this upward position, I start again. I do that overhead strike. And then I do my inside sweep block. And then I strike low. Now my opponent strikes my head, so I roof block. Number one strike, and then do that dropping down stick move. So even if you don't have it the whole pattern down yet, at least just try to do these moves, think about these different blocks. And then when you're doing it against an opponent who's actually swinging their stick at you, it'll all come together. Their attack will match your defense. So here I come in with the overhead, and then I come across with the block. Then I strike in, and now my next move is to block their overhead strike. And then strike them again, and then I block down, and I bring my stick up, ready to go again. If you think of the overhead strike as the start of the series, then when the next one goes, it's starting the next pattern. So here's the first move. 1, 2 is the block. 3 is the low strike. 4 is the deflection down, and 5 goes here. Now, when he strikes at me again, then I start my combination again. Overhead, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when the other person blocks, so we got up to 6. So this is the way that the pattern comes together. So practice these moves, even just picking up your stick and doing the different strikes. The 5 strikes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gives you some idea of the directions the sticks can go. And think about your different blocks, the roof block, the inside sweep block, and the dropping down stick deflection block. All right, these are some things for you to work on this week. If you're watching these videos at home, if you're practicing on your own, either you can't make it to class or you just want to get an extra training practice in, watch the video, maybe do it a couple of times. Remember also to keep up your fitness by using your pad, doing those fitness exercises with the pad, and of course anything else that you do for fitness on your own. All right, thanks for watching today, and we'll see you in class soon. Keep up the good work. I'm proud of you.